The COVID-19 vaccine clinic template has two panels allowing for documentation of the immunization. The vaccine administration panel has filter options to search for patients utilizing demographic details like last name, first name, and date of birth. Or you can also search by patients with appointments utilizing the appointment date and appointment resource fields. Depending on which filter option you use, you then click the search button to bring a list of patients into the bottom grid. If your patient's not in the system, you can click this new patient button to input patient demographic details into the system. Select your patient from the grid below to begin documenting the immunization. Once your patient's highlighted, any patient allergies will display in the grid. To the right of this grid, there's a CDC checklist button, which will bring up the CDC COVID-19 pre-vaccination checklist for documentation. You can also launch the patient's chart by clicking the Open Chart button. If our patient had any previous COVID-19 vaccines, they would list here in this bottom grid with details of that vaccination. Since this is our patient's first dose, we can then go ahead and move to the immunization details section to begin documenting. Click in the lot number field to bring up a list of vaccine inventory. Highlight the appropriate vaccine that's being administered and click OK. Notice that details flow into all the fields as applicable. Since this is our patient's first dose, the sequence 1 is defaulted. If this would be their second, then the sequence would default to 2. Click in the site field to bring up a pick list and choose the appropriate site given. Review all other details. In the vaccine priority, select this from this pick list to choose the patient's priority for this COVID-19 vaccination. Once all information is input into these fields, there's a few options located below. You have a clear option to clear out all details, a save and add new, which will save all this information and allow you to stay on this template and add a new vaccine for another patient, or the save and close. Either save button will populate an appointment pick list for you to choose for the patient's next dose if it's applicable for them. So since this patient had one dose, they do need a second one. When I click my save and add new, my next available appointments displays the location, resource, event, and the next appointment date and time that I can choose from. I can choose the option that best fits my patient and then click OK. That then saves this information into the patient's chart and orders placed into the immunizations module, and an encounter was then created for today. The second panel on this template is the vaccination log, which gives you a list of all the applicable vaccines that were given for today, or vaccine date, and the current location. This list describes all the patients and the vaccines that were administered and by whom. In the vaccine administration log, highlighting a patient in the grid allows you to launch the chart, print an immunization record, remove the vaccine if needed, and then double-clicking or opening will launch the details of the vaccine that was given. Saving and closing this template will save and close all information and close out of your template.